Hello, this is Will from Will to Trade. You can check me out at willtotrade.com. I want to give a market recap on stock CLRB, and this is today, June 2nd, on CLRB. CLRB had a pretty solid move today. We alerted it in our room. We traded it in our room, and I want to go over the move that it had today and sort of the moves that it had previously, why we were looking at it, why we wanted to get in where we got in, and why we wanted to get out where we got out. So currently on the screen, you have today's chart of CLRB in the 5-minute view. We have a few lines here. This first dotted blue line is at 401, where we alerted to jump in, and this other dotted blue line is where we were alerted to sell it at, which is at 435. Okay, so what's going on with CLRB? Well, CLRB had, if you pull it up on the 1-year chart, again, you'll see that, I mean, it was, a really far decline in the past year. They've had a pretty tough year, but in the past week and a half or so, they've had some pretty strong movement. We alerted this in our room, again, about a week and a half ago. This was on a Friday. Huge run up here. Following Monday, some continuation. And then, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trading days, ultimately red on the day. So nothing really too exciting for CLRB in these last 6 days. But today it started to perk up again. It did show up initially on a gapper. I mean, it's gapped up about 6%, but that's not really why we were so interested in it. So let me go ahead and pull up the 1-minute chart here. So yeah, okay, we can pull up the gappers and we can see the gapped up. But if you look, it's hard to see it from this view, but if you look at the pre-market activity, you'll see it was very sparse. Nothing really too exciting, nothing really too thrilling going on here. In this first hour of the market, I mean, again, it's really not doing much of anything. Certainly you could buy right here at the 335 level and ride this up till about 385. And that would have been fine. But again, we don't want to make a trade when there's just not enough volume. The volume really hadn't kicked in. We'd rather wait a little later in the day for a more solid, more secure trade. So, this is the previous high day at about 385, 386, and then it broke it. And certainly we could have jumped in right at this point. Let me zoom in here. Certainly right here we could have jumped in. But we were looking for the break above the whole dollar. So we didn't just want $4, we wanted 401. And we figured, okay, it had been trading in the threes. If it can break $4, then it should squeeze up nicely. How much it's going to squeeze up, it's hard to say. So, simple math will tell you that, $4 or 401 plus 10% is going to be 440. So we were thinking, well, it could go to 440, and in fact it did. In fact, it went further. It went to 450. But to be a little conservative and just a little under 440, we wanted to sell it at 435 because, we don't want to hold this forever. We want to jump in, jump out, make some gains, and go on to our next trade. And again, you'll see here, I'll just count them up. You jump in and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 minutes. 9 minutes, and you're up 8.4%. So almost 9% in 9 minutes. Really an excellent trade. Really, some of my favorite kind of trades. You're in, you're out. It's like 10 minutes or so, 5-10%, what have you. And then again, we're not trying to chase it as it goes above, this range here, above this 435. Some of the members in the room held out a little longer and sold at 440. But again, everything above here is what I call the froth. Some people call it overextended. Some people call it kind of spiky. But it just only held up here above the 440 range just for 5-6 minutes or so, and then it fell down. Just to remind you, here's the rest of the day. It fell really sharply. And then it was just jaggy, and then it fell sharply again, and then jaggy, and then fell sharply again. So, in my personal opinion, you want to take the trade at the smoothest, easiest trade that you can. You want to get in, not necessarily always break of dollars or whole dollars, but those are good places that you can get in. You want to ride it 5-10% or so, and then you want to get out. And then after it breaks, and I guess we can zoom in here. After it breaks, you can see this is really like the indication. Okay, we're breaking. This is another indication. Even though it came back up, you know, once it breaks, it's just going to go into chop. You know, and to try to trade in this time, very difficult. Doesn't mean you can't trade in this time, but just really much tougher because it's hard to really get a sense of where your support and resistance are. It's hard to get a sense of, okay, where's the place to buy? Where's the place to sell? Where do I want to get in? Where do I want to get out? You know, not always, but most of the time, we really like to take these trades as they're breaking the high, breaking up above the high so that we can ride the momentum up. And as you see here, it broke down. So we would have been interested if it broke above 450, high of day. So 451, 455, sure, we would have been interested. But again, it never did that. So because it never did that, we never jumped in again. Tomorrow, who knows? Maybe it will break 450, 455. And if it does, you know, it's possible we'll alert it. So that's CLRB for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you love the video, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you're curious about our room, just go to www.will2trade.com, fill out the form, and we'll get you all set up. Thank you so much. Have a great day.